Okay, first, before we begin this video, I would like to make a few formal announcements. First of all, I would like to wish everyone a happy 4th of July today. And second of all, I am sad to report that Mega Man X Dive, made by Nebula Joy for mobile devices, is being shut down as of July 30th. So we will have to get as many characters as we can, which includes everyone's favorite Maverick Hunting waifu Lair, from Mega Man X8. And in other videos, I will post her alts. Just know that this is the one used for her A rank and for her S rank. And we're glad we finally have official art, or compared to what was used in the Maverick Hunter field guide. Anyway, with that out of the way, welcome on and all to part 5 of my hypothetical 3 houses route known as Rainbow Sun. Today, we are going to be focusing on everyone's favorite shut-in, Ms. Bernadetta von Varley. the absolute nervous wreck of the entire your Black Eagle household. Hold. Hold. Our last time we had to fight against Odess and his living weapons. The boss this time is a little less civilized than he is. The team that's assembled for the Varley Manor mission will be Alois, because that's who Bernadetta is the least scared of, because he reminds her of her uncle. Shamir, because fan service. Felix, because he was rather fascinated by Bernadetta's quickness, if you could call it that. Ingrid, because of the funny moment between her and Bernadetta where Ingrid ripped the door to her room off. Sorry about that. Raphael, because he's nice. Ignatz, because he's a nerd. And the Ashton Moles representative would be appropriate, Yuri, because he and Bernadetta actually had a support conversation. Yeah, remember that friend of Bernadetta's she made when she was a kid but thought was dead? That was Yuri. They have to save Bernadetta from this guy, Periander. He looks like a bad dude, and he pretty much is a bad dude. Well, I think this guy had some lore to him, but I think it was lost ever since Twitter became X. So if I had to describe this guy in a single word, he'd be a bully. Yeah, a big bully on the lines of most of Persona 5's cat. He was boss roster. One thing I forgot to mention was this boss fight takes place here on the 15th. Of the Lone Moon month. I think this video is going to be a bit shorter than all the others because there's not going to be much dialogue here. But I'm going to try my best anyways. Anyway, this particular part of the story begins with Periander actually managing to beat up Bernadetta to a pulp. And her father, that would be this guy, Gregoire von Varley, who can't help but do anything but watch. Because he's so scared. See, Periander isn't Oh yeah, credit goes out to Oneirio for this awesome design of Periander. Anyway, Periander isn't as crafty as most of the villains. He's more like a do it or I'll punch. Hey, I'm gonna punch you to death. How you like that? No, shut up, you stupid forehead. Yeah, he's basically what Garrick Mock doesn't have, a bully. The closest thing we have were those nobles that picked on Constance and Happy, but that's about it. At least I think so. Anyways, Periander proceeds to beat up Bernadetta, but when a soldier comes in and barges in and tells him they have company, he gives Bernadetta one last punch, but it leaves behind a little thorn in her neck. More on that in a bit. What we have here is another one of those manor maps. And I'm using the Radiant Dawn one as a placeholder. Anyway, Periander would be surrounded by a whole bunch of his own goons. The thing of it is Periander has a bit of a gimmick to him. When we beat up his guys, nothing happens. But when he beats up his own guys, still nothing happens. But if he beats his own guys, his stats get +5. So you might want to have to beat this guy quickly, because the longer the battle drags on, his stats will get to the point where you probably won't even be able to get a scratch on him. And Periander is also interesting. For Periander, I'd like him to be voiced by Sam Riegel. After all, his wife Eden is known for voicing Fleisch. He'd probably have a bit of a Starscream tone to him. I heard that you were the guys that managed to beat up Kronia and Solon. Ha! Those dorks were actually more pathetic compared to me. But it's more or less after the battle that gets interesting. I let you losers have this round, but the next time we meet, I'll be sure to bash your skulls and holes in the walls so hard you wish that they turn to dust. Then Periander disappears. Of course, Bernadetta would be utterly traumatized. But when Gregoire is asked by Shamir why they would come after him, he says he doesn't know, as they're practically worthless. This actually triggers the thorn that was left behind by Periander's fist. As all the bad memories Bernadetta had of Gregoire, he turned into rage and hatred. At which point, Bernadetta would just grab Shamir or his dagger, pin down her father, and her, and her, and her, 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 and before she begins to repeatedly stab him to death, as she yells at the top of her lungs, "I hate you!" And she does this, and she both stabs and yells, "I hate you," repeatedly at him. Because all her life, all because of him. Everyone else is shocked to see this side of Bernadetta. Yuri especially. But all this is stopped by an assailant wearing an ice-themed mask, much similar to by taking out a pair of tweezers and pulling the thorn out of Bernadetta's neck. This ultimately snaps her out of it and returns her to normal. The assailant with this mask is Bernadetta's mother, and upon seeing what Bernadetta has done, she screams in agony and runs back into the manor and locks the door. The others try to reassure her that what happened wasn't her fault. But she's like, "Yes, it is! I yelled at my father and I killed him!" Yuri is the one that has to snap her out of it. In a vein similar to how Norman talked Max down into giving Ash his balance badge. In which case, Bernadetta comes out of the... unlocks the manor, opens the door and says, Are you actually okay with this?" And Bernadetta's mom takes off her mask and says, "Of course, dear." And then Bernadetta just cries in her mother's arms. And after being informed of the situation, she joins us, thus completing the mission. Join us next time when it'll have to be Flame's turn to step up. As she, Cyril, Holst, and Anna have to team up again against the very one who was responsible for the tragedy of Dusker. I'm Peter Tilton, and signing off.